Hey there, really glad to see you. And today I wanted to talk about getting over disappointment. And there have been plenty in my life, certainly, and I'm sure there have been some in yours as well. And it's not always the easiest thing for me to walk through it. For a long time, I would just disregard it, sweep it under the nearest carpet, do some kind of activity to erase it and ignore it. But what I found is it just builds up and builds up and builds up until I explode or create some kind of illness or act out in a weird way. So I just want to touch upon the ways that have worked for me in handling disappointment. And the first one is to acknowledge it. Growing up in the family that I did, it wasn't safe to really acknowledge your hurts, your disappointments. It could lead to ridicule and shaming. But as an adult, I have a choice and I can stop and take a breath and say, wow, yeah, that really hurt. Or, yeah, feeling into my heart, I am disappointed. And that's really okay. And it's safe as an adult in your own space to acknowledge your disappointment. And the second tip is to find kindness and compassion for yourself as you're experiencing this disappointment. Go into your heart and talk to that wee little one. Talk to yourself like you talk to a sweet 2-year-old or 3-year-old learning some simple task. Try and find that same love and compassion for yourself as you move through the disappointment. And take time out if you need it. Sometimes I'll wrap myself in a pink fuzzy blanket. I had one as a little girl and I carried it with me everywhere. I treasured it. And when I was 5, my grandfather and mother decided it would be a good idea to burn it in the incinerator to get rid of it. And when they called me down into the basement to show me they had burnt my blanket, by then I was so trained into not showing my disappointment, even though I wanted to burst into tears when I saw that burning blanket. I knew to be quiet. And I turned on my heel, went upstairs, and went into the closest closet I could find to let my tears out on my own. I'm not in that space as an adult, and I don't choose to put myself in that space. But when I feel disappointment, I need to take time out and find a way to self-soothe that makes me feel good. And it doesn't usually have to do with compulsively exercising, compulsively cleaning, or beating myself up for some reason. It's authentically stopping down and having dialogue with that disappointed piece that's within myself. And then once that's through, I trust that there's a higher meaning. I know sometimes it sucks, but from experience, every time there's been a disappointment, it's led me to a better place, better circumstances, better surroundings, better opportunities. It's odd how the universe sometimes has a strange way of leading me. And the more I surrender to that, the better off I've been. And then finally, when I'm ready, and only when I'm ready, I can release that disappointment. I can really let it go completely to find healing. Because the more I hang on to it, the more it pulls me down, it pulls my vibration down, my energy. And if I really get to a place where I'm ready to release it authentically, that's where I find healing. That's where the expansiveness opens, the universe comes in, and there's some kind of magic miracle that follows up. And that belief system has gotten me through some really tough circumstances that I know most of us face walking this earthly walk. So that's how I get through disappointment now as an adult. And I would love to hear how you do. And if this video has helped you at all, just like, subscribe if you like the content, share it with somebody else that might be helped. And I'm so glad that you checked in today. And I want to remind you that we're in this together.